Hello, Guardians. Welcome. I know it's been a little while. I am here, currently recording the video on a spur, kind of hanging out. We're here in the Cosmodrome, but we need to talk. We need to talk, Guardians.
Affirmative.
It is one of those things where we got rank ones here. And I remember being a brand new Guardian. I remember 2014 seeing a Destiny trailer for the first time ever. And immediately, I had played Halo, 2, 3. Reach was where I desperately fell in love with everything that was. It captivated me. I felt like for once with a community, I meant something. I was part of a team. I had my fire teams, and they changed over the years. Destiny 1, I had, a whole different friend group that I worked with, I gamed with. We all played Call of Duty at that point. And when Destiny came out, we came over for the excitement, for the fun, for the mystery. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like Destiny 1 was the greatest game on the planet when it first came out. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it. Vanilla Destiny had a lot, and I do mean a lot, of issues. But it was something to enjoy. It was fun. I remember when Vault of Glass came out for the first time. There was excitement behind it. It was amazing. You could jump in with your friends. You could do. Then Crota's End came out, and we really got to dive into something else. And that DLC wasn't the best either. We all knew that. House of Wolves and Dark Below were two very, very low points in Destiny 1. I remember taking a break for a while during Destiny 1. Focused on work, focused on whatever I had going on at that time. Knowing and hoping that the game would get better. And once I returned, came back to the game for a new thing. Something that a lot of my friends went, hey, this thing that's coming seems super cool. It would be awesome if we could get the old crew together and we could go do this. And we did. We did, as I earned reward points on Xbox. I told you I was on the cuff recording this. We found the Taken King. And the Taken King was, in my opinion, one of the best moments from Destiny 1. It was great. I remember fighting Oryx for the first time and seeing him come up and thinking, how? How do we stop that? I remember beating him for the first time and feeling that excitement of we just did something that we didn't expect to do. And that was amazing. That was awesome. And then that friend group walked away. Not from me. Not necessarily because they were unhappy, they had done a lot. We had done a lot together in that game. And it was time for them to go. So they went. And I stayed. I stayed all the way through up until Rise of Iron. Rise of Iron had come out, had been out for a few weeks. I remember playing it. I remember going through the story. The Iron Lords. Something that I didn't think we would ever hear about. And there they were. Lord Saladin, Lord Aphrodite, the Iron Temple. We became the Young Wolves. And that is where I met my friends. The ones I still play games with today. And I'll even give them that shout out. Kratos, Lethal, Tweak, Bryce. Back in the day, we had those guys. We had Judged Unworthy, or as we know him, or if you've seen him in streams, it was Jimbo. Later down the line, we added Dominus Penguin, Benton to the group. We added Thomas, Alpha Kavu. We added Psycho Sean. We became friends. We became more than friends. We wished each other happy birthday. We cared about what was going on with our lives. And it all stemmed from Rise of Iron and Destiny 1. I remember going through Wrath of the Machine with them. And us figuring out the puzzles. And doing and wow, binary, this is so cool. And how do we solve this? How do we get through this encounter? How do we make this encounter quicker? And it was really fun to do back in that time. And then once we had completed a lot, they took a break. We still played Xbox together. We still played video games together. But they weren't on Destiny. And at that time I understood. Destiny 2 had been announced. We were kind of wrapping things up anyway. If you really wanted it, we were working to get it. If schedules allowed with work or personal life. I remember going to the Bungie forums and finding 2 other Guardians who were on the Outbreak quest. Joined up with them on a random morning. And for the next 4 or 5 hours, we did Wrath of the Machine stuff. We found other Guardians to do the raid steps with. We did the puzzles together. There was no toxicity. It was Guardians discovering a new thing together. And it was a time I'll never forget. I remember being able to, when my friends came over, I remember showing them, hey, guys, look, I got Outbreak. Like, look how cool this gun is. It's got nanites. It's red. It's got all this SIVA stuff. I was proud to have put in that work in that game. Destiny 2 launched. And I remember being excited. I remember the original fire team that we had at the launch of that was me, Judged Unworthy, and Kratos. I still have a picture saved of all 3 of us standing at the farm, day 1, beside Hawthorne. All 3 Titans. And then I remember doing the campaign, and even the campaign wasn't that well put together, I thought. I may have been on that weird spot, but the thing the campaign did for me is the minute Gaul secured the Traveler and our ghost dropped to the floor and we lost the light, I felt like a part of me had been lost at that point, and I didn't know what we were going to do. How do we get our light back? How do we fight this, man? How do we save the Traveler in the city? All of us are lightless now. And I played through that campaign with them. resecured our light, saved the traveler, watched it wake up, watched the pyramid ships arise from the shadows. And then something happened. The game went down a little bit, and they left. I stayed. Curse of Osiris was never a great time. I stayed. I did the prophecy weapons. I lived on Mercury for as long as I could. The story was, and still is, nowhere near what it ever should have been. Fast forward to Forsaken. The game, what we thought at that point, was at the lowest it had ever been. And we didn't know what. We knew that something needed to change, but we didn't know what it was. And Forsaken hit all those marks. It was like walking into the Taken King all over again. It was what we needed. It became the melding point for all of us. And I loved Forsaken. I thought Forsaken was fun. I thought it was very well done. We struggled to do Last Wish. And we had a ball doing it, trying to figure out, why didn't this work? How can we do this? It was Destiny 1 Vault of Glass all over again, with how do we do things and make it work? Fast forward to today, where I play on all three characters: Hunter, Titan, and Warlock. Where the toxicity has come from this quote-unquote dead game, where the player base will listen to someone who hasn't played Destiny since the Red War or Rise of Iron every day on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, on the Destiny fan pages, on Facebook, on Reddit, on TikTok, on even YouTube videos. I've seen creators that haven't played Destiny in 5 or 6 years. Something happened on Destiny, they shoot a video out real quick, and they put it on blast. But they offer nothing to make that game better. No helpful things. No, hey, this is a great opinion, and I know that you probably won't implement it, but this would be a really cool thing. None of that. Just a bunch of vitriol. And then I sit here and try to do things. I've lost my fire team. Again. I haven't had them since the final shape. Alpha Kavu remains with me in my fire team at all times. When I'm here and when I ask him. It's not a thing of I get on and I get home from work every day and he's on and he's playing and he's grinding. He's not there. He's on Helldivers. He's on Spray Paint Simulator, Power Wash Simulator, because those games are more intriguing to him and more fun than what Destiny 2 has become. Then you have the player base who currently plays. They play every day this quote-unquote dead game. And yet, they bash it. But they log in every day. I don't know if it's for hoping for downfall or hoping for better. I don't know. The toxicity that has emerged out of this game. This community at one point used to bend over backwards to help a Guardian do something, to get that exotic, to beat that mission, to knock out that raid for the first time. Now, and from personal experience, trying to get things without a raid team and having to use what they want us to use, the Fire Team Finder, has not been great. The Fire Team Finder, you might, out of 10 posts, you might find one or two that's got good people, Guardians, in it. The rest of them are purely toxic and there for their own benefit. I have joined, because I will admit, there is one gun I have never owned across any of Destiny history, and there is one gun I would love to have. The gun I would love to have is Conditional Finality. It is a unique gun, and if you're watching this and you have no clue what Conditional Finality is, Conditional Finality is a raid shotgun exotic from Root of Nightmares. It is something that, was really cool when it first came out. It's a solar stasis shotgun. Me and my team did it. As you can see, I still don't have that gun. I don't have Necrochasm. I don't have Touch of Malice. I don't have Euphony. Or however you want to pronounce it. Collective Obligation. Where is the other one? The new one from Desert Perpetual. I don't have those. Why? Well, because the game pushed my team away. To where they would rather go play Stellaris. Or anything else than Destiny. And you wonder, and you ask yourself why. Now, as for the toxicity and Fire Team Finder. Guardians. I have joined Fire Team Finder for Root of Nightmares as a hunter and been kicked immediately because I'm a hunter. I've been kicked because I'm a Void Hunter, because I'm an Arc Hunter, because I'm a Strand Hunter, because my cloak has no cape, because I didn't have the correct weapons on the minute I joined, because people use different metas, and I jump in and go, guys, what are we using? I've been kicked because I'm a Titan. I've been kicked because I'm an Arc Titan. I've been kicked because I had a bubble. I've been kicked because my shader wasn't the right way. And I've been kicked because my emblem they didn't like. I've been kicked because I'm a Warlock. I've been kicked because I'm a Solar Warlock that wasn't using well. I've been kicked because I'm in Prismatic. I've been kicked because I've been using Strand. All trying to get one shotgun. One. The gun that I never owned across the Destiny history. Touch of Malice. I can't get. I have no raid team, and I'm fed up with the toxicity. I would rather not have that gun than kill Oryx and watch removed from Fire Team before I could even get rewards. I would love to have those two. I have never fully completed that Vow of Disciple. Never fully completed it. I've never done a full run of Root of Nightmares. I haven't even touched Desert Perpetual. That's upsetting. And for me as a solo Guardian now, most time, there's no way outside of a Fire Team Finder or an LFG for me to earn those weapons. I would do 100 strikes right now if it meant that at the end of number 100, I could pick a weapon like that and cash it in. But I can't. And to be frank, it pisses me off. It seems like every time we take 2 steps forward, we take 10 backwards. Heresy was the most fun I had ever had in a long time in Destiny 2. Since the end of Final Shape, I loved the Final Shape campaign. And yet, I knew it was short term. I had Lethal back. I had Tweak back. I had Kratos back. At the beginning of Edge of Fate, I had Bryce back. Guess who I don't have now? My fire team. Because of decisions that have been made and the way the game is currently in its state. I want to preference this by saying the toxicity is we always looked for a Destiny killer as a game community, whether it be Anthem or anything that fit in that realm of stuff. Every game that came out for a certain amount of time was the next Destiny killer, and it either folded or it limped along for a while until it finally went down. Or, in the case of things like Borderlands, Helldivers and stuff, they took off. The fan base would rather go have fun doing that than dealing what we're dealing with here. And I understand that. I do. I really do. And that's the upsetting part, is that I do understand that. I've yet to complete Crota's End. I remember 2-manning it in Destiny 1. What upsets me currently, and I want to get into this, outside of the toxic community, I feel like everybody understands that. Even Bife and Dado, Asdacross, all of them have talked about it. About just how toxic the community is now. The thing that drives me insane, more than anything, is this game, outside of all of its other issues, is have a fire team or go away. Real inclusive, Bungie. Appreciate that. I remember being able to play Halo 2, 3, and Reach by myself and unlock everything in the game. I get it. I know people in the comments are going to argue that raids are 6-man. They're the pinnacle activity. That's terrific. But when you're a solo player, you don't have those. You have zero chance at doing that. And if your skill level isn't high and you're just one of these really good gamers, dungeons are out of your reach. I want to explain to you that that is out of the reach of the average person. They're not going to do that solo. Why try that hard? Why try that hard? Doable, but why? Not a snowball's chance. Sure, real easy. Yeah, grindy, we can make it work. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's great. That was always the solo thing. There's a lot of content up here that people don't want to do solo. Unless you're good. This, and I'm going to say this in this way, and this will be the only time you're going to hear me say something like this. PvP is a shit show. It really is. I used to love going into trials. And, yeah, trying. I'm not the best PvP player in the world. I have my struggles. I'm getting up older in age now, so my reaction times have slowed down. You miss a kill in trials now, and you get berated for the rest of that match about how you suck, you can't play, you need to uninstall the game, and other things I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. I go into trials now for armor because I like the way the armor looks, especially when it's the Egyptian stuff. I am a massive Egyptian fan. I'm not going to touch PvP. I played Iron Banner the last time it was here. That was the first time I've touched PvP outside of the few games I played of Trials this season. Not going to happen. In Heresy, went to the Lighthouse 4 times. That was 4 more times than I'd went in a long time. Previous to that, I think I went twice. Maybe 3. I might be wrong on the 3rd. I know for sure 2. I don't want to touch this side of the game at all. I go over here, and I see missed opportunities in Fireteam ops. I know it's old, and I know a bunch of people are going to say, yeah, but the coding don't work. Yeah, the game engine's been updated, and we'll get to that in a moment. I know it will be excuse after excuse, but where's Sabathoon's song? Where's some of our original Destiny 2 strikes? Where is, I got one for you, the Sunless Cell? They gave it to us for a season, and it was gone. We didn't even get a full season. I think we got it in Act 3 of Heresy. Gone. Gone. That's very sad. Seeing solo ops be 6 things is very upsetting. Why is there 6? Why isn't there more? I want to know that. There are plenty. You could put lost sectors in here. You already do with K1 Logistics. How many other planets do we have? How many other lost sectors do we have? And if it's a game engine problem, then why are we still on the Tiger engine at that point? Unreal Engine 5 does well for very, very large amount of games. But I'm not a developer. I'm not a coder. So maybe there are limitations I don't understand. Destiny 2 and Destiny as a franchise used to feel full of life. And now it feels like a mindless husk hollowed out. And not a good version like a Taken. It has lost its soul. I will always, on one thing, praise Bungie. Their gunplay. The gunplay feels different than anything else we've had. I can turn on Call of Duty right now, and the gunplay feels different than Destiny. And I love Destiny more than I do Call of Duty gunplay. I know there's going to be other comments down there. Well, Call of Duty is supposed to be a realistic thing. I understand that. I get that. But I am a space magic throwing guardian. This is a game that I have played since beta for Destiny 1. And I can confidently say that this game has lost its soul. And look, we can point the fingers. We can blame all we want to. We can count the number of cars, layoffs, late brought outs, things that didn't work when they came out, missed promises, things we were told were going to come and then got completely 180'd into something that wasn't what we were told, period. And yet we're supposed to be happy with that. The community has shown before, and recently with the Stronghold nerfs, with a lot of the armor and ability stuff that was going to be nerfed. The community rose up, stated they didn't like it, stated why they didn't like it, and made enough uproar, those changes got reverted. Yeah, they're not fully in yet, which is another upsetting point, but they're being reverted. Well, my question to Bungie, and even if Aztecross is watching, or any of his people, or even Bive's people, if you were that quick to revert it and admit that that wasn't the direction you needed to go, why make the change anyway? Why not talk to your community and listen and then go in and do things? It would be real nice to have that open thing. And DMG does his best on X. He really does. He catches a lot of the stuff on the chin that he has nothing to do with. He's kind of our middleman here. And yet we put him on blast, so he goes back and tells the community. It's kind of hard for him to continue to want to listen and to help when we're doing that. And I'm one of the ones in the community. I will flat out admit, I don't want another tweet that says we're listening. That's not what I want to hear. I want to hear solutions. I want my favorite game to live. And at this point, if it takes a Destiny 3, then it takes a Destiny 3. I am willing, and at this point, ready to give up everything that I have earned to have a Destiny 3. To have that reset and to have things that would work. To have things that would make me happy and make the player base happy. That's what I would do. I'm willing to give up everything for that. And I know on screen you're looking at me and going, well, you got the Taken armor set on. You're flying an X-Wing. You're still going to play. You're right. I'm still going to play until they turn the servers off. And you can bash me in the comments all you want to. You can say I am sucking the teat of them. I don't care. This is a game I fell in love with, and I've been here since the beginning, and I'll be here until the end. That's who I am. My whole life personally has been fight to the end. And I mean, if you're a wrestling fan, you've heard the slogan, never give up, never give in. That also has come from something else. I know that if Bife is watching at this point, and I know the video is a little long, you know where that came from. That is a Doctor Who reference on why he chose the name The Doctor. Never give up, never give in, never cruel or cowardly. I have tried to make my Destiny 2 career that. I have a friend of mine. Her children wanted to play Destiny 2 with me because I enjoyed the game. And I got a chance to see Destiny through a different lens that I had not seen in a very, very long time. It was the lens of the first time. And wow, wasn't this cool? What about this? What about that? And I've gotten to see it on a separate side too with Lodi's voice actor that streams, Brian. That man is an awesome dude. The grin on my face the day I tagged him in a tweet, he responded. You could not have gotten that off of my face for anything at all. He is someone who you would actually love to play Destiny with. And I would. I would kill to be in his fire team when he goes and does his first raid. To listen to that experience, to see that through that lens one more time would warm my heart. It really would. But we're running out of that time. Because the game isn't in a great place since Edge of Fate. There have been changes that have been made that have pushed people away. I mean, let's look at this through a realistic thing. Datto, the man that does Destiny, is not doing Destiny. Why? Not because of the game. I'm sure there is some level of burnout with the game. I mean, after playing it 10, 11 years, you know. That's a lot of Destiny for anybody. But this community has pushed him out. I have been in his streams before and watched and seen the endless tirade of, why are you playing the dead game? You could be playing this. Why don't you do this? This would have worked better. How dare you do this? And I've questioned how that man has kept his sanity. I really have over these years. And to Dado, if somehow you see this part of the video, I hope you enjoy your break. I hope you get your head clear, my friend. And I hope to see you back in Renegades. And get a chance to run into you, at least. You are somebody who this community loves in its own right. The true community. We're not talking about the toxicity ones. And the ones that give you headaches and grief. And make your hair turn gray and you want to pull it out. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones that really do care and love you and support you. Like, we're gonna miss you until Renegades, and I hope the best for you. I hope that when you come back, it is what you love again. I really do. I worry for people like Asdacross and our Lore Daddy Vive. Like, that man is the reason I got into lore, into this game. I wanted to learn more from listening to his stories and the way that he delivered that lore. I wanted that. I wanted to create lore myself, but was too terrified to because of the backlash. And I didn't... I've had enough stuff going on in my life. Destiny 2, and I will openly admit this, and Guardians, nobody... This hasn't been a public knowledge thing. So, I'm just gonna lay this out here. In 2023, in November, I had a heart attack. I'm currently 35 years old. When I came back home, there was 3 things that I had that I knew it's okay. I had Dado streams. I had Vive's lore videos. I had Asdacross to remind me that, you know, you can have fun and laugh. And on top of that, the 4th and kind of in-your-face thing, I had Destiny 2. I could get on here and relax while I recovered. And I loved it. Now, I would rather sit here for the next 4 hours playing EA Sports college football instead of loading up Destiny and playing. And yes, let's be frank, I am a 451. But I'd rather go play something else. I would rather sit down and slam my head against a wall playing Yu-Gi-Oh! than play Destiny some days. And that's not where I want to be with my favorite game. It upsets me. It bothers me. I see the player count. I do. I talk to my friends about, hey guys, you should really come over here and do this. And the response is, well, I heard this thing about, you know, the game, and I don't like that, so I'm not gonna play. And this is not me calling out my friends. I will never state who said that, who didn't say that, or anything in that nature. That's bothersome. Because that was the team, that was the crew, those were the guys we had the most fun with. There was times we stayed up till 2, 3 in the morning laughing because we were just having a ball, doing things, exploring. And that's not here. That worries me. I legitimately am worried for the future of my favorite game. And I never I never wanted it to get that way. I never wanted it to be, are you sure this is going to be? Because this feels very Anthem-ish, where the game is going to go down, and it's going to be a problem. And I hate it. I want what's best for this game. I want what's best for the player base. I want everybody to log in, have a great time, play, and continue to move on. And then the next day go, I got to get back in there because this thing or that thing was so much fun. And that's not there currently. And that's worrisome. You know? Like, there's only so much Portal we can do. There's only so much I want to do by myself. And I'm running out. Y'all. I'm running out. And it's partly because, you know, I can go to Reddit and instead of finding, you know, hey guys, look, I found this really cool gun. This is awesome. I find toxicity. And to be frank and purely honest with how it is, I find total, utter bullshit. And I hate it. I hate it. I want to be able to enjoy this game without worrying about, is somebody going to send me something unhappy about how I look, my emblem, my ship. Oh no, that I spent money on the game, trying to support a game that I love. I want that to be done. I want solo players to be able to have a better shot at doing these raids and getting these really awesome guns and armor and the weapons that are there. I want that for them as much as I want it for me. It is selfish because I do want it for me. But playing with my friends' kids, they're asking me what the Vault of Glass is, and I can't just reach in my phone, go to Discord, and go, hey guys, I need, 4 of you so we can go do the Vault of Glass and let this kid experience it for the first time. They're not there. I've reached out in Discord about a sword glitch that was recently here in Destiny 2. And told them that, this would be really cool and it'd be really fun to see you guys with. And, you don't have to come back all the time, but, it'd be really awesome if I could get help doing some of the stuff. And I got ignored. That's not what it was. Now I can go into that same Discord and, hey guys, do you guys want to go play Helldivers for the next few hours? And I'll get an immediate response. I want better. I want the community to be better. Like, that's the big point I'm at right now, is be better. I know the Light and Dark saga's over. I thought Edge of Fate started out great. Lodi made it for me. Lodi was the man. And yet, I see people bashing him, the DLC, and I will not stand for Brian being bashed. Normally, I would tell people they could kiss my rear. You can kiss the whole thing this time if you want to do that. Astacross has a better saying. I won't say it. That's his saying. So, I guess, with a 44-minute video here, what do we do? Where do we go? I will play devil's advocate on one side. I will stand here and state that, yes, Destiny 2 could be better. It could. There are ways to fix this. There are ways to pull the community in. I would love to be able to help with that. To know that I got a chance to help the game I love. That would be amazing to do. Guess what? I don't have that opportunity. Why? Well, number one, I'm not a big content creator. I'm part-time at best. I release more F1 videos than I do Destiny 2. And you wonder why when I go back to the previous statements. So, it is one of those things where, do we need a Destiny 3? Is that going to be the thing that helps? And I want to say yes, but on the opposite side, I am very unsure. I know myself and a lot of Guardians that I have seen are willing to give it all up, to click restart, and to hit Destiny 3 running. I was one of those that I thought Destiny 3 should have came after the final shape, before the Edge of Fate DLC came out. I thought Edge of Fate would have been a great starting point for the beginning of the new saga and a new game. Would have been terrific. We didn't get that. I'm hoping that Star Wars is strong enough to help do. And yet I'm unsure. One, I love Star Wars, so, you know, I definitely, as you've seen the X-Wing there, I will play. But I know a lot of Guardians where Star Wars isn't enough for them. And that's understandable. It really is. I wish I could snap my fingers and make it better for all of you. I wish I could snap my fingers and secure Bife for the next 10 years. I wish these goblins wouldn't get behind me. I wish for good things. I am the hoper of far-fetched things, and I know hoper is probably not the correct word or even a word. I'm Southern. We make up our own. Get over it. But I can't snap my fingers and do that. I can't guarantee that a Destiny 3 will save the franchise. We may truly be seeing the end of Destiny 2, and to be quite fair, it breaks my heart. It really does, because this was the game I fell in love with. This was the first game, the Destiny franchise, right after I got out of Call of Duty. That community got so toxic it wasn't worth it. And yet now I'm dealing with similar things in this game now. And I don't like that. I don't mind grinding. I know a lot of people in the community very much dislike grinding. I know that there is a group of people who just wants everything handed to them on a silver platter. I'll work for it, but I have a job. And I refuse to have Destiny 2 or any video game be my second job. Just not gonna happen. But it's one of those, what do we do? And there is legitimately no good answer on what we could do. I could sit up here and spitball for the next 2 hours and try to tell you everything that I think would save Destiny 2. Story-wise, gameplay-wise, mechanics-wise, everything. It's not going to work. I don't work at Bungie. I'm not a high enough profile content creator for them to listen. And that's another sad point. That because I'm not that, this video will fall on deaf's ears. And that truly does upset me. I want to be able to hang out with the community and do raids. Brian, I would love to do raids with. Bife, Fallout, all of those. Astacross would even be blastful to do. It'd be a giggle fest. But that's what we don't have anymore. Is that fun, that sense of togetherness with a community. We used to be united we stand, divided we fall. Now we're divided we stand, united we fall. And there's just so much prayer for a downfall of a game that people log into every day and then pray that it dies. And that's not good. I don't know where all this toxicity came from, but kind of needs to go. Tired of it. Overly tired of it. And as I sit here and play through Caldera, And I know we've spent time just sitting in orbit and doing. I think everybody does that. And yeah, you might be watching my playstyle and go, wow, Doc, you could have done that a whole lot easier, or you could have done this a whole lot better. Yeah, I probably could have. You know how hard it is to think, split a brain, and do things at this time? Yeah, not great. And this was kind of all off the cuff. There was no script here. There was no nothing. I don't write scripts. When I do a video like this, it is off the top of my head, and I am trying my best to just give anything that I can, and to give a perspective from somebody who's not that high-profile content creator, that doesn't have all the accolades behind them. And nobody's gonna listen. The random person that finds this video, thank you for watching. If you've been here the entire video and you've listened to me rant and rave and bounce back and forth between things, thank you. If Brian sees this, if Astacross, if Dado, if Bife, Fallout, anybody sees this, thank you for what you do in this game and in this community. To Bungie, my closing thing for you is, I wish you were better. I love you. I do. The dev team, I know you guys work hard. I know the raid and dungeon team. You guys knock it out of the park every time. The weapons team. You guys are awesome. I wish it could be better. And I hope it is in the future. I will always hope. Whether that's answered or not. And here's another problem. I got all these in one slot. You see anything in armor? I don't. It's not helpful. But that's okay. We'll work through it, Guardians. Until then, thank you for listening to me rant. I know videos are sporadic, and I'm sorry. There have been a lot of personal life things going on, but we're working that out. Okay? Again, thank you to all the creators that I named. Thank you for what you do. Brian for the voice acting. And being a fresh set of eyes for everybody. That fresh set is much needed, my friend. And I hope to see you Starside, personally. I got a hug emote for you when we do. To the Bungie dev team, I wish you the best. I do. Thank you for 10 years of doing. To everybody that works on Destiny 2, thank you for what you've given me over these years. And I hope to get more and to have better, cooler things. To the people who were there that are no longer there, thank you for what you did. Thank you for putting your heart and soul into this game. I know one name that's been thrown around a lot here lately is Joe Blackburn. We miss you, buddy. Miss Deej and all of them. And I hope that Bungie, as much, and this goes for the game as well, I hope both of you find your souls again. And your heart goes pitter-patter all over again. Until then, Guardians, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. And as always, I'll see you guys Starside. Goodbye, everybody.